is a Boardwalk Audio podcast.
Hey guys, before we get into the show, we have a great idea.
You should order some booze and get it delivered to you to drink while you listen.
Whoa, that is awesome. How do I do that?
Saucy is beer, wine, spirits, ordered online and delivered directly to your door.
What? Alcohol delivery in 30 minutes? Get out of town, Ellen.
So many things.
That says 10,000 products. That's insane.
That's crazy. I mean, they have
prices. You can
beer,
order craft beer,
wine,
spirits,
mixers, ice. You can get ice.
Oh, they even have a mobile app.
You can get Fritos too.
Fritos?
Yeah. I would order the Ravenswood and the Fritos.
Yeah, I would do that. Oh, I like the Underwood can rosé.
Yeah, they have rosé all day.
Free delivery, guys.
It's crazy. And in 30 minutes, or you can schedule it too.
Yeah, you can do that too. So if you want to get 10% off on your order, and I think that's every time, right?
I do believe.
You can go to boardwalkaudio.com/saucy, and that's SAUCEY. Saucy.
Get saucy. And drink with us.
Yeah, we're about to drink. You should have a glass with us.
Yeah.
Yay. Reach out.
I just drink wine.
Okay.
All right.
Are we ready,
Everybody
Zig?
ready?
Welcome to the wine situation.
Fen.
There was a lot of extra N's in that. We added a lot of N's. Situation.
Well, I said fen.
You said fen?
Like end. Like
at
the end of
oh,
it.
like en français. Ooh, Ellen, très chic. Oh, mademoiselle.
We are here to tell you about the vin.
Hi, guys. This is the Wine Situation, the show where we talk about wines and
go
wines.
with wines.
Yes.
Wines with H's and wines without.
I'm Sean Buckles. I am your wine whisperer. I'm going to talk to you in a very smooth, calming tone, and I'm going to find the right wine for your wine.
I was mesmerized.
No, I was just going
I'm
like...
Ellen Clifford. You gave me a nickname last show. I'm Mistress something. Oh,
Mademoiselle Palette.
I am Mademoiselle Palette.
Well, I called you Master Palette,
and
then
I was
you're
like, can I be Mistress Palette?
Yeah, I want to be Mistress
Because
Palette.
I've always wanted to be a mistress with a whip.
But I was thinking, because you're goth.
A wine whip, yes.
Yeah, you're keeping an S&M.
No, but I was
saying like Master Palette.
Right,
like,
no.
You are the palette master, not like,
Yeah.
non-denominational
I understand.
palette.
I understand. It's the like bad feminist in me that's like, ooh, I want to be a mistress palette. Like I'm not offended if people want to call me an actress instead of an actor. I don't care.
Yeah.
Maybe I should though.
No, you can bring the extra feminine energy.
I'm like, I don't need to be a master taster. That's for men. I am going to own my femininity.
A mistress.
And be a mistress palette.
Can we be a mistress?
A mistress?
I made that word up.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
It's
You're welcome,
2018.
America.
I can be a mistress.
Mistress.
But not a mattress.
But not Don't treat me like a mattress.
Yeah.
Not in 2018, you guys.
So we're super qualified to do this because he is the wine whisperer. I am the mistress palette.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I passed the quartermaster's test. I've also helped open Bar Covell and worked with Gregory Condes Wines.
I love that we're like pimping our own selves.
Yeah, I don't know. Fuck it. I'm just going to pimp my own self.
Fuck it. Like, take the power. I have an advanced WSET degree, and
Yeah,
I got
you do.
the best score in our Courtmaster's class, so that's my pimping of my own. And,
Ellen was valedictorian.
And I write about wine and food in various forms and places, occasionally for money. Not recently, though, sadly.
Someone pay Ellen to write about wine because she's really
fucking
effing good at it.
Thank you.
I like how you said fucking and I said effing. I'm going to stop editing myself this year. This is the year I'm going to stop editing. Anyway, should we get into our...
Yeah, let's do our next segment, the Grape of the Week.
Grape of the Week.
Grape of Thrones!
Oh yeah. As Ellen calls it, Grape of Thrones.
I'll forget about this by next time we record, don't worry. Torrontes.
Torrontes. What is Torrontes?
Well, it's a thick-skinned grape from Argentina that likes sandy soil.
Is it white or red?
It's white.
It's a white wine from Argentina?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Best known for growing in Cafayate, which is in Salto, which has extremely high elevation, so it gets very minerally and cool and crisp. There's 3 types of the Torrontes grape, but the most well-known and respected is Torrontes Riojana.
That's right.
Which is a crossing of Muscat of Alexandria and Criolla Chica, also known as the Mission grape.
Ooh.
Which is that red? That's red. Also known as Pais.
Pais is it's a light red.
Yeah.
I love it when our research like matches up. Yes. I don't have to like say anything else because I was like, oh great, I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also like super aromatic.
It's very aromatic. We had someone ruin it. I love Torrontes.
I used to love Torrontes, you guys.
It can be very floral and very like spicy, and it's dry. But we had in our courtmaster's class, someone described it, and actually,
it was a master som who described it as
shaped soap.
Like shaved soap potpourri.
Yeah.
Like in your grandma's bathroom.
Yes.
And literally, ever
He's
since
so
he said it, I was
right.
like, I put the glass down. I was like, I will never drink Torrontes again.
I'm drinking my grandma's soap.
Literally ruined it for me. I was like,
know.
I'm drinking grandma's soap right now.
I haven't had one since that. I haven't thought of
and
that.
And my stomach turns even talking about it. And like...
Other things they
It's
called
terrible.
it in the courtmasters looking on the Guild Psalm site, they referred to it as synthetic grape, tropical ripe citrus, highly floral, perfumed, shaped soaps.
Did they really say it on the Guildsom site?
I have that in my notes. I think
that's
that was
of
on there.
That's because of Ryan or whatever his name
I
was.
don't remember who it was. It wasn't our friend Sir.
It's always a Ryan.
Pair it with spicy food. Pair it
Yeah.
with anything you pair like with some good Indian food. Or
It's also
like,
a great bargain wine,
Thai
guys.
food.
You can usually find it for a good deal.
I really did love a Torrontes, and I have not. I mean, at some point we'll get over this hurdle.
One day.
Hopefully. Fuck you, Ryan. We're just going to call him Ryan for ruining Torrontes for us.
All Ryans.
But hand soap apparently is delicious.
If you like drinking hand soap, guys, if you like drinking your grandma's hand soap,
The last
get on down to Argentina and pour yourself a full glass of Torrontes.
You know, really, it's floral, like in good ways.
Yeah.
We got to get past this hurdle, Sean, and we have
One
to get
day.
past our Pinot. Like this week, both things we recorded this. Not that we record 2 things in a row. But
Never. We would never do that.
we would never sound like we're disparaging a wine. 'Cause
Never.
We have to give him a chance.
Always.
Lies.
Lies. Anyway, so that's Torrontes, guys, from
Torrontes.
Argentina.
Try it.
This week's Grape of the Week.
Bum ba dum bum.
Grape of Thrones. I just like
Amazing
doing that.
trumpet sound.
I just like
That's
doing the
really
trumpet.
Good. That's really
I like
good.
doing mouth
I'm
trumpet.
jealous you can do that. I can't do it.
I can't do it for very long. I can only do it for like 4 notes. and
You
then
are
I'm done.
the what's his name?
Oh, from Police Academy?
Yeah.
Carl Weathers?
No.
No.
What? That
Our
was
guest
not-
is shaking her head
She's
because
like,
she
no.
knows. And
Let's introduce our guest.
yeah, go ahead.
We'll
Intro
get
the
to it.
guest.
Well, she hosts a amazing podcast
Amazing.
called Throwing Shade. She wrote a book that I very much want to read called Feminasty, The Complicated Woman's Guide to Drinking Without Drinking Herself to Death, which we could use on this podcast, clearly.
It's complicated.
She's written so many things. She's on all the social medias as Gibblertron. We have Erin Gibson, and I'm so excited that you're here.
Yay!
I wanted to say so much while you guys were introducing that grape because I like weird descriptions of wine like that. Like that made me want to drink it.
Oh, okay.
Grandma's potpourri.
We are all going.
I'm not joking. I was like,
Yeah.
that's refreshing, and I know what that tastes like because everyone's been a toddler, and you just put it right in your mouth.
Oh,
It could bring you back to a place.
It
I have
smells
your
good.
place.
that's a way to think of it.
It smells good. Why not put it in your mouth?
When I go to the cheese store that I go to, which is Monsieur Marcel.
Oh, yeah.
Farmers
In the farmer's
market.
market. Yeah.
I
It's a good
always
place.
say the same thing. I say, I would like whatever cheese you have this week that smells like ballet slippers.
I want the stanky cheese.
I want the feet. I want the footiest cheese.
Now, I like footy cheese. I can get behind you on footy cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, the way he said it, like it really
Was
kind
he
of...
trying to disparage
like
it?
Yes.
Oh,
he was shading
He
it
wasn't
for
like
sure.
excitingly like, look at this amazing
Yeah.
description that.
No,
a
no,
way
no,
that
no,
makes
no.
me
He was
wanna-
like, this wine's garbage because X.
It kind of makes me want to drink it
Yeah.
even more, really.
I know, I should
I
support
don't
it
think
more,
I've
but...
had it since maybe I've had it like once, but yeah, we got to
Why
get
is
back
it so
on the
perfumey? Is it?
It's just the grape.
just the grape.
It's
It's
just
just
how it
grape.
is. It's just what it does.
Just how it is.
It's the magic of
like
grapes.
Gewürztraminer, if you've ever had that. Oh, you're not a wine. Yeah.
I know.
But
My
they can
husband's
be-
Italian,
They
so
can be
I
very flowery.
now know a lot about wine.
Yeah.
And neither of us can really drink it anymore. Which I'm sure you were going to get into. That we,
Right.
We
Yeah,
were, but why did? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
what-
you want to get into your
Tell
wine and then we
us,
can drink
well,
what
I
we're going to
love
drink?
Beaujolais. I love. I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you. I'm a label person. Because I like all kinds
pick
of
the wine on the
wines. I
label?
don't like super sweet wines, but I'll definitely drink anything that's not like a really like some Muscadet. I can't.
Muscat.
No, or like the white Muscadet.
Yeah. Can't do it.
Surly.
Too sweet. If it tastes like candy, I'm not into it.
I think you're thinking of Muscat, maybe.
It's
I
called
could be-
it's called Muscadet.
Oh, okay.
What I mean.
I could be wrong.
Well, Muscadet is the wine that's from the place, which is like Western Loire Valley.
Oh, right,
And
yeah.
Melon de Bourgogne is the name of the grape that they put in Muscadet.
Oh, I
but
see.
Muscat is also very perfumey and kind of sweet.
I
easy
can
to-
do perfumey, but I can't do sweet.
Okay, so it's probably
Okay,
Muscat.
so I go to two wine places. I go to Lou
oh yeah.
Love Lou.
and I go to Domaine.
Oh, yeah.
And I go right into Domaine and I say, "What's your best labels?" And there we go.
It's the best. And they go, here you go.
They go, "Here you go." I don't buy any wine over $20.
Oh, that's
Ever.
good. Have you been to Vinivore?
Do you fancy a
No,
garnish?
where's that? Oh yeah,
Vinivore is on Virgil. It's like a new spot that just opened, like right behind Squirrel.
yeah. Oh, right behind Squirrel.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll go.
So it's on like Hoover. I'm sorry, Hoover.
If
Oh
I
yeah,
want to
that's
drink
the
wine,
woman one, right?
Yeah, it's all
Yeah, oh,
female
yeah.
winemakers
What?
and all
It's
female
it's
owned.
great, yeah.
Yeah.
that sounds exactly like what I want to go.
You-
to.
Yeah,
should go to Vinivore.
there.
Friday and Saturday I can drink wine.
They're
because
super cool. They'll talk to you about everything.
Into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I went to the Women's March last Saturday, and there was a after party at this place called the Residency
Oh, I've
Oh,
heard about
that's.
that.
I'm doing
oh,
a
wait,
play there. Yeah.
Oh, you
I-
are?
Yeah, I'm doing a play there
Yeah.
once a month. Yeah.
at the
They
bar
have-
on that stage.
On that
They have,
stage.
they have
That's
decent
great.
wine there too.
It's crazy when I walked in. I was like, "This is a great place to do a little intimate like show."
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what we're doing.
they had all female
Oh, nice.
distill or whatever you call it, distilleries that were
Oh.
making vodka and gin, and so they were serving all those drinks and donating
Oh, cool.
percentage of the proceeds to Planned Parenthood, which I thought was great. I
That's
love.
fantastic.
I think we need to promote more female and minority wineries,
Wineries.
and distilleries,
Yeah.
and breweries, and
Yeah,
point
because
that
it's
shit
still
out.
such a boys' game. Like at our court masters, it was all there's 20,
It's all men.
there's 26 now female masters somms in the world, and there's 100 and something men. It's frustrating.
yeah,
So yes, I'm with you.
on that.
Let's cheers it. You were
Cheers.
going to explain your wine.
Explain
with
your
an
wine.
A.
Explain like why
It's
we're
not
drinking
even
what we're
like-
drinking.
We're
Yeah.
drinking Campari, which is what I call what a yacht widow would drink.
A yacht. So wait, is this yacht widow on the yacht or?
She has a yacht and no husband. And we don't know
Yacht
how the
widow.
husband disappeared.
Yeah.
I drink Campari by myself at home. So.
It's my favorite drink. It also, I have,
Oh, I love it.
do you want to get really interesting?
Oh God, this
Yeah.
is so good.
My family has chronic digestive problems. My sister has Crohn's. My grandfather has colitis. Like it just is like if you got intestines in my family, you got problems. I don't know. It just makes my stomach feel good too.
It's an aperitif.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it tastes like medicine. It tastes straight up like Robitussin to me.
And the most, I love it
In
so
the-
much.
in
It's
the-
so bitter and so I
It's
love
like
it so much.
something your grandma would give you.
So what did you want to whine about?
Well, I
Because
didn't.
we found a way to, it actually pairs well. The fact that we're drinking this pairs so well with what you wanted to whine about.
Oh yeah, because I'm like really obsessed lately with people being different in real life than they are on Instagram or Twitter, and basically being disappointing in a sense
Right.
of meeting somebody and being like, "Oh, you seem like you're like this quippy, fast-paced person on the internet," and then you meet them and you're like, "Oh, it takes 5,000 years for you to complete a sentence."
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Oh,
talking to a
yeah.
block of wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started noticing it when, talking to wood people.
Yeah, people
right.
blocks of wood.
They,
My childhood guys, stop. Just kidding.
oh, you poor thing.
Only talking to my
only
blocks
wooden
of
dolls.
wood.
Yeah, she grew up in a forest.
So sustainable. I mean, really good for you.
We actually literally did play with blocks a lot in my house because my dad would make things in the shop and we'd have all
very
these random
Swedish.
block things and we'd shit.
That's
what it made me
You
think of.
understand that that's snobbish now.
What is it?
Yes.
Wait, what do you mean?
Not having plastic toys, only having wooden toys.
Oh, well,
Because they're expensive.
Yeah.
So-
Wood blocks are more expensive than plastic toys.
And that's my baby gift to everybody. I buy them Waldorf school
But
wooden
these were
toys.
scraps.
But were they sanded? I'm trying to get down to like he didn't just throw you like splintered wood and just said deal with it. I don't know your dad. Maybe
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah, I mean,
Scraps.
I feel like some of them were like legit scraps.
Can you use a table saw
I cannot.
Okay,
I should be
curious.
able to.
I can't.
with a guard? With a guard on, anybody can do it.
That's
really.
probably true.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I should.
Can you
I wish.
push?
I wish I had that power because I needed
How
to
much
saw
effort
some
can you give?
2x4s at Home Depot recently, and I stared at that saw for a while, and then I was like, I'm gonna get the professional to do this because I'm
I
accident
don't think
prone.
they let you do that. Do they?
They have all these
At Home
instructions.
Depot?
your
no.
own?
No, they won't let you. I tried the
Okay.
other day. Yeah, they wouldn't let
Why
me.
do they have all these instructions out about it though? Is that just for the? Anyway, I found someone else
know.
to do it, but I wished I
I'm
had that
fairly
power.
sure it's a liability for them because someone will
Probably.
saw their hand off.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm sure.
that would be me. I would do that. I'm accident prone. Just trust me on this.
Trusted.
Believe me, I cannot wait to see what you do. Are you going to slam your head into that microphone cover?
I just grab the bottle of Campari and dump it on my head. I'm like, I'm so accident prone. I don't know
Well,
what
it sounds
I'm
like
doing.
you're forcing it.
Yes.
It really sounds like you're forcing
Seems
it.
like you're just doing it on
pushing
purpose.
It's for the Instagram, guys. It's for the Instagram.
Yes. Okay. So there was this blogger. I had this period where I basically unfollowed everybody on my Instagram and only followed design blogs because I wanted my Instagram to be people who were doing something aesthetically creative
Yeah.
and not people just like talking about like the commercial that they just shot, which fine. I'm glad people do that, but like, I don't want to see 80,000 versions of that on my feed.
Right.
It's just not interesting, you know? And it was boring. And I was just like, I don't care. So I started following all these designers and all these furniture makers.
Oh,
And
I love following jewelry.
jewelry.
makers.
Yeah. Anybody, pottery, whatever. And there was a woman who in the do you know Emma Henderson?
No.
She is a big time design blogger and like basically her site is amazing. You can go on there and be like, how far do I need to hang curtain rods from the frame? And she's like 6 inches this way. Like she got everything
got
figured
everything
out.
figured out.
Nice.
She's like an encyclopedia of how to do everything right in your house. So this was a woman in that kind of arena, and she, you know, has a very defined aesthetic and all this stuff. So anyway, took a picture of herself. This was during the last hurricane in Houston, which is where I'm from.
Oh, cool.
So I was getting texts from my sister of her street filling up. And essentially, like getting closer to her door, the torrential downpour. Is my dad okay? And it was really scary.
Yeah.
And at the same time, she posted a picture of herself in a bathtub, looking out the window, like from the back, like, you know, in this beautiful bathroom that just was open and had windows everywhere. And it was just like, just feeling that the power of water and nature. And she was posting it from Dallas.
Whoa.
And I was so angry.
Yeah.
That's obnoxious.
So I put a picture of her post with the caption and then my sister's text to me and her thing. And I was like, everybody needs to be real about who they are on social media because this is fucked up. Like, I'm glad she told me. I thought she was just some cool designer, but apparently she's just an out of touch asshole.
Yeah.
That would be like us posting pictures of ourselves from downtown LA in front of a candle, like really feeling the power of the wildfires right now. Like,
Well, it's also
Yeah.
you realize like what a
Obnoxious.
full-time job like creating this alternate persona is, and some
That's
people
not real.
It's not real.
Yeah.
and some people are so lost in that persona, and I
Yeah.
get really suspicious now. People that have a lot of posts and a lot
When
of
it
like
looks
stylized
super
posts, and it looks like super curated.
That's all they're
and I'm
doing.
like, this is fake. Like
Yeah.
literally like a fake person. That person does not exist.
Yeah. I signed up for this program that essentially what they would do, they would help you like market your brand or whatever.
Right.
Because I was getting super burned out by posting stuff. But, you know, because of what I do, I feel
Yeah,
like I
you
have to
gotta-
keep feeding that machine, which, I mean, do I really? No, I could probably log off, but
Right.
I have
I
like
enjoy
I have,
seeing your things.
Oh, thanks. And also, like now, it's part of the business. Like when you go pitch a TV show, they want to know your social media numbers.
Yeah.
do.
And that's just the way it is now. So I hired this company who will Photoshop your pictures and change the background out and like make you look younger and all this stuff. And you tell them what you want to do. So I like whatever. I took a picture of, let's say I took a picture of like myself. Oh, I took a picture of Ollie in Ireland and I had them like tweak all the colors and make the greens really pop and all this stuff. And it's a monthly subscription. And I realized that none of the pictures look like anything I would post.
Yeah.
I mean, my feed was starting to look polished, but it didn't look funny. And I felt like it was starting to look really fake.
Yeah.
And then they want you to use all these hashtags and all this stuff like living your truth and like podcasting for life and all this shit. And I was doing it and I was like, this feels awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather just write funny captions and who gives a fuck about the picture. And so when I when I basically called them to cancel, they were like, they didn't understand.
Like, why would you?
They had no, and so I just realized like half of these people aren't even like they're fake online, but then they're like double fake because their fakeness is getting filtered through a third party who's then reconfiguring their whole outward persona and then feeding it back to that person who's then putting it on their Instagram. It was just like so many fucked up layers of like Instagram inception.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. So like, who's like the fucked up person there? Is it the people generating the content, like the middleman right there? Or is it the actual person who's doing it? But then who are the people that are actually making that content? And like, what's their perception? Like, what's their feed look like?
How much do they believe what they're making? Like, yeah.
It feels
it's so weird.
Rotten.
Yeah.
It just feels so rotten. And it just is a bummer because like, you know, there's people who you can really admire and you like their writing and you like their stuff. And like, there's a person I follow on Twitter who I then met in real life. And I was like, oh, you're awful to be around.
Yeah.
I don't want to be around you. And I love everything you write, and I cannot stand you.
It's just so weird. Like, there's such this movement towards, like, farm to table, like, really artisan things, handmade things, but yet it's being fed through this filter that is so artifice.
Did you guys
And
see
so,
Ingrid
like,
Goes
at the
West?
same time, it's...
I didn't see it. I heard
I
it's
know
great.
I need to
love
see it.
it.
I
it's
need to
so
see that.
good.
But it's
But
like...
that's what that's basically about,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, Ingrid Goes West for it's Aubrey Plaza. She and Elizabeth Olsen. So good and so much like it's just you watch it and you're like, yeah, that's like too true.
She
like,
pretends to be somebody else because
she's obsessed with this Instagram
Right.
star. She meets her. She kind of like also becomes
part of her crew or whatever, or like
it's good. Yeah, check it out.
Yeah.
I'm into it. But I think in real life, especially in like entertainment in LA, like authenticity gets you very far. So then I think it like, you know, the more honest you are about who you are and you present that to people react to that.
Right.
I think people are really good at sensing like when you're like putting on airs or like being like, no, I'm just a country girl from Texas and I don't know nothing about nothing. And people are like, no.
No, you know what you're talking
The
about.
exhausting thing is like actually putting it out in a way people find, though. If that makes sense.
Like putting your personality out there.
Yeah, or just like being your self and
Not filtering your own self.
not filtering
No
your own
pun
self.
intended.
Oh, filters.
Hashtag no filter.
Hashtag filter
Hashtag no filter for all your Hollywood needs.
But like you can be yourself all you want and nobody's watching and we're like fed this thing like you need to figure out a way to get people hooked or something.
Well, it's super hard I think it's super hard for anybody who's not like a white straight man because all of your life someone's telling you to like don't be so feminine, don't be so masculine, don't be so loud.
Right.
Don't
be so fey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
As
yeah.
a gay man, too, you're like, be more straight acting. Like, don't be like this. Don't be like, like, watch like this. Like, make sure you watch this sports thing and make sure you know how to talk about this thing. And like, but I don't care.
No, you
But
don't
that's
care.
not me.
But then you
I
have
want
this,
to, I want to fucking sit and put my feet in a foot spa and listen to Les Mis.
what kind of foot spa?
Just like a home foot spa
With like bubbles and stuff?
Yeah, with like some like little Epsom salts. I just put it on.
Well, you're on your feet a lot.
No.
No?
No, this is when I was 12 years old.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So you understood luxury at a very young age.
Yeah. I actually was 11, I think. I got Les Mis, the double disc set, and I would sit and put, I was exhausted at 11. I was like, fifth grade was rough.
It's
And
exhausting not being yourself.
it is. It's exhausting.
Did you feel like you were like you were always like 60% or something and when you were growing up, or were your parents pretty okay with everything?
I mean, like when I finally was like coming out, I was not really living with my parents. It's a very long story. I have a crazy childhood, so it's kind of, I don't want to get into it.
It's okay.
It's too complicated.
It's okay.
But so I mean, I never really had that like teenage years of like feeling like I wasn't living my truth because I just wasn't living it in my house. I was living it with friends.
Right.
So like it was really fun. I partied a lot, but like I didn't quite realize, the greater ramifications of that until I moved to Los Angeles actually and went to college, and I was all like, oh, most people weren't like thrust into being adults at the like 13.
Right.
They were just
allowed
now
to be children or whatever. Yeah.
So it was like this like different sort of like weird retroactive like homophobia that I never had dealt with because I was thrown into like being a crazy punk kid in Northern California and just like fuck it, I smoke cigarettes, I drink, I'm gay, I'm fucking care, and we punk shows and like everyone's fucking everyone. It was fun. And then I was like, oh, this is not how most people grew up. Yeah. And I was like, oh, well, actually Hollywood's really like homophobic.
Oh, incredibly
homophobic. And I had to like learn that kind of like on the fly. And you kind of like have that intrinsic sense, I think, as a woman or as a gay man growing up. You're like, you can kind of read situations and people really quickly. And it quickly dawned on me. I was like, oh, people are, like, yeah, it's just a dumb story.
I grew up in a really liberal neighborhood, and I had this impression that the whole world was very like, and it was diverse, and that was a very rare part of St. Louis. And then I was shocked when I got older and started to like, or I just went to school at WashU in St. Louis, and like I stepped foot on campus. And I'm like, holy fuck, St. Louis is conservative. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
No, oh my God.
Oh.
My mom lives in Doniphan, which is in the Mark Twain National Forest. You wouldn't know where no one knows where it is, but it's in Missouri. Are you saying St. Louis, Missouri?
I lived in like the city of St. Louis. Right. So I'm a terrible person who doesn't know the rest of my state.
But when I went to St. Louis with her, I was like shocked because I thought St. Louis weirdly was some bastion, like liberal.
The neighborhood I'm from is.
It is.
Yeah. It's
but most of the city is pretty conservative, though.
Yeah.
Well, like Dave.
Well, the city
Holmes
is tiny from
there too, and he was saying he grew up in a very different St. Louis.
He grew. Yeah. The actual city of St. Louis is very tiny, and I was from U City, which is like the odd liberal. Like,
is that
diverse
because it's by the university?
I don't think it is. It's just like
It's called U City.
University City.
Okay, but it's not.
City.
It's
right
not
by
near
WashU.
the university.
It is.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I think that's how it got its name.
City.
But it's pretty diverse and like very liberal, and a lot of like growing up there, like hippies, and like I was the minority at my school, and like I just had this view of St. Louis being like that because that's like where I was.
Of course.
Yeah, and then I would meet people from the county, and I'm like, but that's in the county. But then I was just, and then gradually as I got older, I'm like, oh wait, this is a conservative city.
Surprise.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, not sorry about it.
Sorry, not sorry, red state.
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
We're like super racist and we don't like women. So, and if you're gay, we don't even like acknowledge you as a person.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about like I went to Oklahoma with my friend, and like they were like, well,
where,
there's
Norman?
Yeah, outside of Norman. Yeah, and they're like, well, there's just not any gay people here. I'm like, yeah, because they all left.
Yeah, or they're all hiding.
Yeah.
It's like, and all the women just really like staying at home and not talking much.
Man,
it's like, what?
That's how Houston is. And it's like, well, it's not that. Actually, in the last 10 years, it's gotten a lot better. They had a lesbian mayor who had to come to California to get married. And, they were doing they were starting to do some interesting things down there. And then it all got
washed away.
So
awful.
It's the whole idea, but I mean, all this speaks to kind of my problem with social media. Like with going to college, you see instantly like, oh, this is how things really are.
Yeah.
And I feel like with social media, and I guess it's sort of like related to online dating and stuff, but like everybody's it's not even like I'm putting my best self forward. It's like I'm putting a totally different person
forward. Yeah.
Do you know who Brock O'Hearn is?
No.
He's like the Fabio of Instagram.
Oh,
okay.
No.
I'm kind of obsessed with him because I don't know what his personality is. He's got like 4 million followers, and I could not tell you what he likes, what he reads, what movies he watches. The whole thing is curated in this way that is like he's on a yacht, and every time it's just he's thanking his fans. He's in bed thanking his fans. He's working out thanking his fans. And it's just him. It's just staged, almost like romance novel style pictures of him doing nothing.
Well, it's like these YouTube stars that do the same thing. Like the Ryan O'Connell episode where Ryan O'Connell came on and whined about these YouTube stars that basically are like these like twinks that are like, oh, I want to thank my fans and I want to thank, X to Exist underwear. And it's like, what? But like, why are people watching? Why are they getting millions of views? Like, what? I don't understand.
Influencers, I don't get it.
But there just seems to be like, have one thing you can do.
Yeah.
Right.
I would take a like sleight of hand card trick, or I would take anything at this point.
But he has nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Can you tie a cherry stem in your mouth?
Can you do anything? Can you walk backwards? Can you? I don't like. Give me something.
Can you chew gum and walk?
But like,
Can you clap?
Can you clap? In the case of this guy Brock, like I joined this gym and then one day I was there and he was working out, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get to see like what kind of person he is. Like,
Yeah.
he did not listen to music.
No.
He was
What?
only taking pictures of himself working out. So it's just
You guys, he's a clone.
That's what it feels like. Like he's just a
He's a robot.
He's a robot clone.
What?
Apple is like working on their robots, and this is the first one. So yeah.
Well, you know
He's
they
the
just cloned a chimpanzee.
Yeah, I
Oh, I
heard
heard
that.
Heard that.
Yeah.
Or a monkey, I think. Well, same thing.
Is it?
No, it's
I never understand bonobos.
Chimpanzees are closest to
Chimpanzees.
humans.
Gorilla.
Monkeys are second
There's like
closest.
apes versus.
But who are monkeys under?
Chimpanzees.
So it goes chimpanzees and a monkey's a type of chimpanzee?
Yeah.
Apes
like
are
we're
a
like
different one, though.
1.3%
this?
genetic different. I took AP bio.
Okay.
Oh.
So I got schooled.
There
I
you
just
go.
got schooled.
Yeah. My friend's mom was like, "You should really take AP classes." I was like, "Oh, fuck it."
I
Long
guess
story.
I'm smart.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I guess I'm smart.
Fuck it. I was gonna drop out of school. That's a long story.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, you got me thinking about that.
Sorry,
stuff.
I put you back.
Put
in
me
the,
back in that time.
Back in the past.
Yeah, put me back in the past.
when there was no Instagram.
Yeah, thank you, Kathy Pither, for making me stay in high school.
Oh, that's a great name. That sounds like a lady who gets shit done.
Oh, she fucking got shit done. She fucking put me in drama class, and she was like, "You're not dropping out of school. You're gonna stay in school, and you're gonna do choir."
Ooh, she
you're
wanted
doing
you to be
music.
well-rounded.
Yeah. Well, because choir was like so intense in my school, so if you did choir,
Why?
you had
Like
no.
show choir thing?
Yeah,
like
there was like
competitions?
sub-zero periods. You had to be there like 6 a.m. and then there was after school, so you were there from like 6 a.m. to like 7 You were there-
PM?
Yeah, it was like you were there the whole time. So she was like,
the
just
kids
be
in the marching
busy.
band. Yeah. Oh.
Oh, she was
So
like
she was, like, getting me off
you
the
out of
street.
trouble. I see. Yeah.
Kind of
yeah.
basically. She's like, you don't need to be drinking beer and hanging out.
I bet she drinks Campari now.
She does.
Wait, you had a point about Campari
Anyway,
being
we're not
related to
over
the
Yeah.
to people being fake, and
so-
I do hope this is this some kind of dig on
Before
me.
no, it's not. I mean, I drink Campari at home. Like I love it with ginger ale. Okay, that's
Oh.
who I
Love
am.
Campari.
That's
And
kind
here-
of garbage,
here-
and I love it.
Here's the thing: is Sean and I are like kind of wine people.
it's like
people,
7
yes,
Up. You basically drinking 7 Up of Campari.
It's so good. It's also.
don't doubt
I
it.
put a
I'm
little
gonna do
sweet
it.
vermouth in too. But
I'm gonna do this. This
it's
is a
so
great idea.
good. So before we remembered the fact that you were like, oh, I can't do wine right now, we're like, oh, what's the trendy thing? If we're gonna project ourselves as wine people on the internet, we would put ourselves up there drinking orange wine because that's the super like hip,
Trendy thing.
cool. If we wanted to really be with the wine-eratti.
Yeah, the wine
So we were like, oh, we should bring in an orange wine. But then
That's trendy
I
and hip.
remembered, she likes Campari. And I was like, but the truth is, I have yet to really get into the orange wine thing. And I would be much more happily. I was so happy. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, no, yes, we are basic Campari bitches. And I fucking love it.
And also, our Instagram is just full of wine. So, like,
So let's pause.
we
So we can't
actually
wait to put
are
this
just
on.
actually drinking Campari
Now,
here.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
So that's the lie. It's
That's
the false.
lie.
It's the falsity.
You guys, every episode of the wine situation, we're
just drink
actually just
Campari.
drinking Campari.
Do people know that there was a scandal with Campari?
No, what about
So
scandal?
Campari used
coloring?
to be
Yeah.
It used to be made out of bugs,
Yeah.
and vegans were like,
Well,
"Excuse me."
annatto, I think, originally a lot of things with red flavoring were made from bugs.
But then
and I
it's
love
made
there's
out of red 5, right? Isn't there like some other garbage thing in it now?
Something.
Your phone.
Oh my god, that's so exciting! Now
I'm like, oh,
here's the
I
thing:
thought-
I stopped drinking. Campari is the easiest thing to get, but I've moved on to Contratto,
Oh, sweet.
which
yes.
tastes
Good stuff.
I think a little better than Campari.
It's a little sweeter.
It's a little sweeter.
But what I really love is that we're drinking Campari Spritzes. We have Campari Club Soda with the thing of orange. We're not even drinking, like, the other really popular thing on Instagram right now is Aperol Spritzes. And to me, Aperol is so, like, not as superior as Campari.
No.
Oh,
better.
I have a
But
question.
it's more
Yeah.
You like?
Shoot.
Do you guys know this? How well versed are you in spirits and stuff
Pretty well.
Okay, I'm gonna read you this thing because I saw this at a bar, and I need to know what the fuck it is because they didn't even know what it was.
But the bar didn't even know what it was?
No, they had no idea. No
Hilarious.
one had ever had it.
I was obsessed with spirits before I was obsessed with wine. So I
Okay, let me pull up the name of this because it has a really weird name.
there's
it has the
so
best
many
label.
bizarre-
It has the best label.
Let me see.
Fall in love with the label.
I'm trying. It takes a little bit for my Google Keep to load.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
thanks to the iPhone.
Load it up. I'm just going to talk a little bit about Campari. Campari, you
Brutto
guys.
Yeah, tell us
Americano.
about-
Oh,
Have you heard of that?
Brutto Americano?
Have you ever heard of Brutto Americano?
Is it like another
like a-
vermouth?
I'll pull up another picture, which is
It
great.
looks
for
It's
sounds
made
like
by
a
Cochi
vermouth.
Americano, one of the Americanos. Is it like a vermouth of some type or an Amaro?
Oh,
It's probably
I
an
have no
Amaro.
idea.
It's probably a bitter Italian spirit of some type. Is
A
my
bitters
guess.
Italian?
There's a gajillion bitter.
It's
things.
in a bottle that's about as big as the Campari. That might be a vermouth. You're thinking?
It might be an Amaro, which is basically a bitter.
Is that an almond?
It's
based
a motto. Yeah.
That's
Amaro,
Yeah.
basically, yeah.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie.
Campari has
it's a
some cool,
motto.
like, progressive history.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, they had all these like filmed commercials, and they had the first commercial in. Let me see, check my notes. Oh, in the late '90s, Campari partners with Tarsem, a well-known Indian director, for a commercial called Il Graffio, the Scratch. That was the first ad to broach the subject of lesbianism in Italy. And that was a Campari thing. I
There's
wish I could.
lesbians in Italy?
Oh my god!
Two. And they found each other.
They had to have a lot of Campari, and then they came out on a no.
I'll say something. The Italians, though, it kind of doesn't shock me that they would do something like that.
Yeah.
The minute, because they're still very homophobic culture, much like the Spanish.
All the gay men have to basically have sex with men that are dressed up in very like loose clothing as women.
What? Are you talking about priests? Wait, what are you saying? What?
When I was in Milan,
Yes.
like literally there was like a road to the airport and there were just like all these men, transvestites, very loosely dressed like women. I'm like, these are totally all men. Like, yeah, but men pick them up because it's pretty homophobic culture. Like
Got
this is
it.
how
Are you
it's culturally
serious?
appropriate to have sex with men.
Is to have sex with a man who's dressed like a woman.
Yeah.
That is shocking.
Yeah. No, this was probably like 8 years ago, but still. I
Oh,
was
please.
like-
Shit changes slowly there.
Yeah.
We were looking at, okay, so you can buy a place really cheap in Italy. Like, Ale found a place that was like 10,000 euros, which
Yeah.
is like $12,000.
Wow.
And with the idea that like one day we might live in Italy and wouldn't it be nice to live in a small town? And blah,
My
blah,
friend's doing this. Yeah. He's redoing
Oh, really?
It. Yeah.
Whoa.
blah. Where?
Outside the outside of the Amalfi Coast.
Oh, that's exactly where this place
Yeah.
is. It's like an old castle.
He's like redoing it. Yeah.
Fuck. Did he get that deal where you like buy it for a penny and then you just have to sign a contract where you invest?
You improve
like,
it.
Yeah.
No, I think it was a little bit more than that, but it's gorgeous. Yeah.
And living there full time?
He's gonna be living there. He's gonna retire there.
Oh
Dang.
my God.
Yeah, but he's gonna Airbnb it in the meantime. Anyway.
That's exactly what I want to do.
Do it.
Can I have your friend's number?
Yeah, Steve Klima.
Because the other problem is, does he speak Italian?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. Because
Yeah.
Ale was like, look, here's the thing. When you go over there, and this is a point to the slowness, when we go over there and buy this thing, you have to be patient. I'm not a patient person. He's like, you have to be patient because some places are run by the mob and blah, 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 blah. And you have to be like, this electrician might not come for 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Might not come for a year.
Exactly.
I mean, that sounds like working with contractors in Los Angeles.
and no, it can be similar,
But
right?
I think it's worse.
Oh, Brutto
Ooh.
Americano. Yeah, this looks like probably. Oh, it's by St. George. So that's like a U.S. maker, right? St. George.
yeah,
They make a lot of like gin.
they do. Yeah, yeah.
It's
yeah.
it's like my favorite label that I've seen in the last
yeah,
year.
I think it's probably under.
Is it like an aperitif?
It says it's under the category of aperitifs, digestifs,
Yeah.
and vermouths. So yeah, I think it's like an Amaro of some type. It looks like. I mean, it's deep colored. It looks like it's probably an Amaro, which would just be like a bitter herbal like.
What would you
Fernet
make with
Branca.
it?
It's a bitters aperitif. It's basically what Campari is.
So you just make it a spritzer?
It's the same thing. Yeah.
You just make everything a
Soda.
spritzer.
Yeah.
You could like make a Negroni with this. You can make like any sort of Campari. Like you could swap it out for Campari and anything.
You
I would
could
say.
rinse a glass. You could make a Manhattan with
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Rinse a glass and then make the Manhattan in it?
Yeah, St. George does like those like
Or
really
just
sort of
use it
small
instead of
batch
sweet
gins.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm learning
St. George makes
everything.
some good
Yeah.
gin. Oh yeah, so just in case our listeners don't know what Campari is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
I got off.
It's an infusion of bitter herbs, aromatic plants, and fruit in alcohol and water. That
So
is the
not
most-
specific.
Yeah.
It's very not specific. It's very secret. It was invented in. Oh wait, that was one of my questions.
No, but I also found that they do use Genoto oranges and
Okay.
Cassialara bark which is like, is it that flavor? Like those
Oh yeah,
two,
don't
like
they
the
use the
primary ingredients.
cinchona? Yeah, which is used in a lot of
But it's also-
bitters and digestives.
Don't you feel so like how much time,
I spend too
hundreds
much
of
time-
years making this recipe?
Well, since
don't know.
1904. 1904
That's when they
Campari
invented
started,
it?
yeah.
Oh.
The first production of Campari was 1904. And
But don't you
it's-
think it was some old grandma who'd like
It was
had it for years and years and years
It
and
was
passed
Gaspavi
down?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Campari, but it was probably his grandma.
Yeah, I'm sure it was just like,
Exploiting grandma's recipes.
I cook up these orange peels with this bark.
Oh, it was
I don't know why
invented
they're
a long
Southern,
time.
but, you know.
no, they're
Wait,
from.
you and I have a different
from
year
Sicily.
of invention.
But yeah.
What do you have?
And then you drink
I
it
have
before.
1860
Oh, you do? I have 1904.
well, that was the Campari site said Gaspavi Campari invented it in 1860. He
Gaspavi.
might not have marketed
Gaspavi.
it till.
Oh, yeah,
It's
I'm
probably
sure.
just Fabi.
I think
No?
I think mine said first production was 1904.
Yeah, it was probably a family recipe.
Yeah.
They were just
So
making
it
out of
was.
their bathtub.
Probably. And
Sure.
they're like, this is fucking delicious.
It's like
I mean,
any
I would.
organic matter they can
Campari
ferment.
is seriously
Not-
my favorite spirit. Like I always have this.
If
at
you
home.
gave this to somebody, if you gave this to someone at my high school reunion, they would throw up.
Oh yeah.
They would spit it out.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you can't. I don't think you can just like go from like, I drink box wine, I drink
Well,
Miller Lite to this.
Yeah.
I was so
It
Christmas,
tastes weird.
Yeah.
Christmas
I've
break.
I've drank many bottles of this with Brian Safi.
That's who got me. That's who
He
got me
mentioned
addicted to
Really?
it.
We spent like many in Palm Springs.
We talked about it when he was
drinking
on the
bottles of this.
show. We brought it up and we're talking about it and like about how we just wanted to drink. So thank
I
you.
love
for
it.
He got
getting
me
us
on
there.
this whole train. And by the way, as I said earlier, it makes my stomach feel amazing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't keep me up at night.
And you
Guys,
don't
I got
get
my family on
hungover.
it on
you don't
Christmas.
Get drunk.
You don't get drunk.
And you don't get fucked up and hungover.
I
My
mean,
mom
you,
wanted me to make cocktails for Christmas, and I was nervous. I was like, buy this thing called Campari. And the first night, they were like, Ellen, make us cocktails. And I made them Negroni. Yes. Do it. Pour more.
Negroni cocktails.
I made Negroni Spagliatos, which is you replace the gin with champagne. And I was so nervous because I'm like, you guys, this is bitter. I don't know. It's my family in the Midwest there, and they all drank it down. And like every night, I was making something with Negroni, with Negronis,
With
no.
Negroni.
something with Campari for them. So it's so good. Like you just have to find the right
there
way.
is something about it, right? There's something.
Yeah.
so
very
refreshing.
delicious.
So like yeah.
Very delicious.
That's why I think it's a yacht widow drink. Because you're older.
Yeah.
You
I mean-
can't really process
No.
alcohol the way you used to be able to.
But you need to sip on something.
You gotta have something in your hand.
Yeah.
Or you look like a goof.
I
and
just
and
love
it has
the
to
bitter.
be gorgeous.
Yes, it is a
It
beautiful.
is a gorgeous
color.
color.
It's like drinking diluted blood.
There's a cocktail that I made.
this is like blood
Campari
from like all
Alexander.
70s movies.
Nice.
With this goblet of death, I decree thee.
Oh my god, that blood looks so fake.
Oh my
Can you believe
god.
people used to believe that was blood?
And we were scared.
We were scared.
So orangey, so
So
good.
orangey, so good.
So bitter.
I feel like complaining about the internet, now that I'm thinking about it, it's like complaining about Elvis Presley
Explain.
in a way.
What do you mean?
Elaborate.
When if
Yeah,
you're like
elaborate.
an adult in the when did Elvis 40s, 50s, and you're like, I don't like Elvis Presley. The way he dances, the way he's loud,
Gyrating.
it
Like
makes
that.
me uncomfortable.
I just don't like his music, but
Oh yeah, but like then it was like scandalous.
Yeah, he
right?
was scandalous. Yeah.
It does feel like that a little bit for me with the internet. I'm like,
Oh,
why is
yeah.
everybody lying all
we're
the
not
time?
with the youth.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's true because I don't think
There's
young
something
people
about
are on Instagram.
there's something about authenticity though
Yeah.
that I think will always shine through. And like that's what's so funny to me is that like there's this move towards being authentic, but yet also online there's this move towards being completely inauthentic. And there's gonna have to be a bridge. Something's gonna crumble, you know. And I really do think it's gonna be
You guys,
the
I am the
internet
girl
stuff
who
because
authentically played with
hold on, Ellen, one
blocks.
second. You did.
You're like, hush.
No,
Okay, go on.
Ellen's like, I'm gonna interrupt you right now.
Sorry, go on.
I forgot the point I was gonna make.
No,
Oh,
you're
about when everything's going to come
authenticity.
crashing down when people are like, well, it's already look at some.
There
look
has
at
to
thing
be a
called-
bridge. You said there has to be a bridge.
But
And
look
I'm
at somebody
saying,
like
I think in light of the Facebook stuff and everything that's happening in that way, like people are going to realize that the internet is malleable and that people can use it to manipulate people, and that's what's happening. You know what I mean?
I hope so, but I just wonder if that's happening.
I hope it
Because
happens. I think
children now
I really do hope it happens. That's my
Watch. Okay, where parents before would turn on the TV. Now they're giving them YouTube, and they're not monitoring it,
Yeah.
and that's how someone like what's his name, Lucas,
Lucasfilms?
No,
George Lucas?
the guy who went to the suicide forest. Now
Oh,
remember
yeah,
his
your
name.
friend Logan.
Logan Paul.
Oh, Logan Paul, yes.
Yeah.
That's how.
Yes.
That's how someone like that gets emboldened to go that far because he's
Yeah.
got followers that. Wait, you're friends with him?
I saw him at a party once.
Okay.
And he
But
was
they
he was
had a-
making
they had-
eyes at me
They
the
had
whole
meaningful
time.
eye contact.
And I was like,
Is
what?
he gay?
No.
Really?
I just don't know. Sure. I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, why is this guy staring at me? He's like, you know who that is? I'm like, no. And he's like,
Did he have a
"That's
selfie
Locum."
stick? But he was the selfie stick. The camera was pointed at him, but he was looking at you. Is it like that?
Through it all.
He's flirting with you with his eyes, but he's videotaping the whole
But he's-
thing with his iPhone.
You're right. I was just a pawn in his Instagram game, his Instagram story.
It's so that's what I mean. They just do stuff. My point is that I do hope it self implodes. I hope it.
I hope so,
totally,
yeah.
It totally goes away. I hope it. I don't know, but I think people are being rewarded for being like, oh my god, like posing shirtless in front of the
They
mirror.
are. They are being
I
rewarded
can't-
for it.
Yeah.
But is it just like the next form of, I mean, things like magazines are going away, things like that, and they're like, that's, people used to read Teen Magazine where it's all the fake like
That's
image.
true.
Is it we're just getting our imagery somewhere else?
That's true.
And we're being
That's true.
bombarded by
and we're being
fake
told
news.
it's truthful because it's a lot of like people have the means now to basically like do their home produced teen magazine of them being perfect.
Yeah,
like,
of
No,
them
it's
paying,
exactly what
paying
it is,
another
yeah.
company to be like, put my
Do it
face
for it,
up,
yeah.
make me look like I'm at the fucking beach.
It's just
even
like
though
a-
I'm sitting in my living room.
Just like a glossy magazine. It's the same thing. It's true.
That's interesting. I think
know.
that it's the quantity
Yeah,
that
that's
makes
the thing.
me upset.
I hope it implodes because of the quantity. Well, the thing is, it's going to sound terrible, but they're going to get old and people aren't going to care.
No, they're
Which
okay,
is sad
Yeah.
too, because I think like old people are the best, and we all need to respect them.
they're
and
the
listen
best.
to them.
Isabella Rossellini's back on Lancome again. Nobody cares but me.
I care.
That Isabella Rossellini. So
Isabella
remember,
Rossellini's back on Lancome.
so she was the Lancome spokeswoman for like 13 years. They fired her when she was 43 because she was too old.
Right. and now they're
And now they're back because they have a female CEO
That's right.
who was like,
yeah.
oh, and the way Isabella Rossellini tells the story, she's like, I was, she rode up on her motorcycle, took off her helmet, and her blonde hair cascaded across her shoulders. She looked at me and I said, what changed? And she said, everything. I was like, that did not happen, but I hope it did.
But that's
You're like,
delicious.
yeah.
That's how she got the news that she got her.
Oh my
She got
gosh.
she's back on the spokeswoman train with Lancome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, we should get into the lightning round real quick.
Ooh, lightning round.
Isabella
Lightning
Rossellini's
round.
always your cue to get right
she's
into
always a cue into getting the lightning round. Asking question.
I don't do it as well as him. Sean, you really are the what's his face of these. I still can't remember.
It's
He's really good
Michael
at.
Winslow.
Yes, you're Winslowing.
Carl Weathers. That
You're
was very
Winslowing.
Close.
He's so good at it.
Michael Winslow.
So that was a helicopter exploding?
Sure.
Okay.
No. That was like a lightning crash.
Into a pond.
okay.
And no pond.
What
yeah.
was the...
That was the pond.
raindrops.
Like
okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
raindrops.
Okay.
So, and I'm still working on the kinks, guys. I'm still working on my reel.
I was with you 100%. I just misinterpreted every single noise.
Well, then the
It's
fault's on me. The fault's on me.
my fault.
No, fault's on me.
My fault as
Fault's
an
on me. I'm
audience
taking- I'm
member
owning
for
it.
not
I'm
opening
owning
my
it.
eyes.
I'm
Yeah.
owning it. First, oh shit, I can't.
What?
Oh, it's a helicopter?
See, yeah. I had that question too. So high five us. But so yeah, one of the questions was going to be when was Campari invented, and I have
Well, see, nobody wins this because...
Oh,
know, 'cause we
I
don't
have
know.
another one though.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a few
What
more.
is in a Negroni? The
Okay.
ingredients.
Ice. Campari.
Glass.
Yes.
But isn't it kind of... it looks darker than this.
Yes.
It's equal parts of three things.
Three things.
Coca-Cola.
They're all
They're all liqueurs.
Alcohol, yeah.
Okay. Campari. What's dark?
one of them's light.
One of them.
One of them is clear.
Vermouth.
Yes.
Yes. Sweet vermouth.
Sweet vermouth.
And the other is like a classic.
Cochi Americano, preferably.
Like a classic
Classic
mixer.
spirit. A classic spirit.
One of the very basic clear
Basic spirit.
spirits.
Clear spirit.
It's a gin?
Yeah.
Yes. The three ingredients.
Well, why are they always like maroon?
I don't know where you're drinking Negronis.
Do I not know what a Negroni is? Also, that we have to change the name.
Yeah. You don't like the Negroni?
I mean, I just feel like it's like
It was Count Negroni.
it was a count.
It was
It was
a
a count. It's just
Negroni.
named after the family. Yeah.
Well, this segues into my other
You're like, I don't like Negroni. It
questions.
does feel comfortable.
I love the Hispanic-ini. That's what it sounds
Yeah.
like to me.
Oh no!
It's a
was
last
No,
name.
it was a-
last
it was
name.
a-
Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna. One of my questions was going to be name some other Campari cocktails, which the Negroni was one. But there's a few that are spin-offs. Well, the Negroni was spun off of one, and then there's a lot of spin-offs.
Ooh.
See if you know some
I
other.
love that you guys think I'm more complicated than just straight up putting two things in a glass and then chugging it. Okay, I'm gonna say there's probably a Campari that has a vodka that's also mixed with vodka and maybe a grapefruit,
Probably.
Sure.
and that's called a light and stormy.
I love it. We're gonna make one later tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna just admit I don't know any, but I'm gonna make some up.
Yeah.
Okay,
Light and stormy.
Tan Halen.
Ooh.
That's a Campari with a shot of let's
Tan
see,
Halen.
Tan Halen. It's
Shot
got
of rock and roll.
Rye whiskey.
rye. Oh yeah, rye whiskey and a little bit. What do you make White Russians with?
Cream and
Milk?
Kahlua.
Yeah, creme
Yeah.
de menthe.
Yeah. And just like sweat out of like a
Yeah,
shirt.
Running out-
Running out of a t-shirt.
and then just a straight up hurricane,
Uh-huh.
which is
It's like every booze on earth. It's like
No.
is that what they are?
It's just
Well, that would be a Long Island iced tea.
it's just
every booze on
Campari
earth.
So
and ice
disgusting.
in a long, tall, weird
never had
bulbous
one.
glass.
Wait, a
know.
hurricane? Because they
Is it?
only serve it in the South, right?
It's like
They
a
had them in
it's a
Vegas.
rum
I was
drink.
in
they
Vegas, and
do?
everyone's like, "I have a hurricane." I'm
There's
like,
Campari in those? I didn't know. I've
no,
never.
I don't think
I
so.
do
I
wish
think it's
there were
just like
more tiki
garbage.
drinks with Campari because I do like tiki drinks.
There's
and
one called the Jungle Bird. a
Oh,
tiki
and it
drink.
has Campari in it?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's very good.
Jungle Bird.
I think so. Yeah, I think I remember
Jungle Bird?
correctly.
That's gonna be
I
my
went through
new.
a tiki phase of concocting things.
Did you know that the tiki tie is like where a lot of those drinks were invented?
Tiki Tea.
Tiki
Yeah.
tie. Tiki tea.
Tiki Tie?
Are we
Tiki
saying
tea.
the same? Tiki tea.
The place on Sunset.
It was
Yeah.
In Silver
Don the
Lake?
Beachcomber and like one other, and it's it's all around here. Tiki was all invented here. And part of it had to do with like rum being imported. It always has to do with like what's cheap to import.
It does?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Typically. I mean,
Yeah, like
that's-
Madeira when we
yeah.
were talking about, or Madeira. Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you know it's the same? It's apparently the same thing with like colors or chromes that are in like you know how like
It's not
rose
just
gold
the-
was a thing for a little bit. It's because in China they had like manufactured a way to do it really cheaply to spray furniture and stuff and like tchotchkes and everything at CB2 that color. So then it became like the end thing because everyone could manufacture.
Is that
it.
how millennial pink?
Yes, it's basically the same
Millennial pink.
Yeah.
Is that what
My
they
purse
call
is
it?
millennial pink. Yeah.
thing. It was like the hot color last year.
Really? You never? That's like.
It's blush. It's essentially
Yeah.
like a blush.
I love millennial.
My
pink.
colors are blush and bashful.
That's so sweet.
Oh.
Meet me on the porch.
Oh, that's what my dog's name is, Shelby.
Shelby. Oh no, and it's diabetic. Yeah. Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, I put juice in her water bowl.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. And then you,
Tell her to drink it.
Yeah.
Oh, Shelbs.
Oh, poor Shelby. That was Julie Roberts. That's the only role I ever liked her in.
Oh.
That's not true.
Brockovich?
Oh
No,
yeah, she was great.
fried green tomatoes, right?
Oh,
She's diabetic.
So close.
Oh, wait, what? Is she
So
diabetic
close.
in more than one movie?
Steel Magnolias.
Oh, wait, no.
Jessica Tandy's in Fried
Okay.
Green Tomatoes.
Yeah.
And Kathy Bates.
Okay.
Yeah,
Glad
and-
I wasn't
and
so
he gets
far
his
off
foot
base.
stuck. Oh, yeah.
Oh, so much in the same
Yeah.
genre
Okay.
of
Very close.
grandma books
Southern
made into.
women.
Yeah.
That was back when you could make a movie like that. Could be popular. That's over.
Yeah. Oh, my God, right? You can't even make a movie like that anymore.
No, please. No one will watch it. You got Gracie and Frankie.
Nope.
That's it.
So good, though.
Grace and Frankie.
Grace and Frankie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gracie and Frankie's?
Gracie and Frankie's.
Francis
I
and
love that
Gracie's.
show.
Will you tell me what the real Campari drinks are?
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Do you have any?
The one it was spun off of, there was originally like expats in Italy were drinking something they started calling the Americano, which was basically clubs. It's almost what we were drinking today. It was Campari, club soda, and sweet vermouth. And then Count Negroni, somehow they started substituting gin. They wanted something hardcore. Wimpy Americans. The Italians wanted something more hardcore. They put gin instead of club soda.
I see.
That was the Negroni. Another spin-off of that is if you take out the gin and you replace it with whiskey. Then you have a Boulevardier. And then you take out the sweet vermouth in that and replace it with dry vermouth. And you have an Old Pal, which I'm a fan of because it's
Pal.
super dry.
Oh, that sounds
it's
good.
equal parts whiskey, dry vermouth, and Campari. I love it.
That sounds great.
Right.
Same thing with coffee. Americano is a watered down cappuccino.
Mm-hmm.
No, watered down espresso.
Yeah.
Right. So for the American troops, that's why that.
I love that Americano.
Yeah.
That's where that that makes sense.
Yeah.
I
There
screwed
you
up
go.
some of the facts, but we got there.
Yeah.
I'm just going to ask you one last quick one.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
When did Campari open its first production plant?
What?
1863? 1904?
Thank you. You got it.
1904.
You nailed
Did
it.
I remember that right?
You did. You got it. Exactly. 1904.
Forgot my mom's birthday last year, but I remember
Boom.
that.
Boom on that.
What do I get?
You get 5,000 points. Well,
That's so exciting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's so
Sean,
funny.
you haven't been giving people points.
I know. I forgot to give people
recently.
points. You know what? I did find this amazing quote about you. I'm going to read real quick. 'Cause I thought it was so amazing. I don't know if you wrote it, so let me know if you wrote it.
Okay.
But it said, Erin is an expert at mixing social commentary, political satire, and frank sexual talk into nice, neat little comedy packages.
I did write that.
Did you write that?
Yeah.
That is fucking great.
It's perfect. You do-
I
that-
fucking loved it. I was like, yes. Yeah. And like, it's so well written. I fucking love it. I wanted to read
I'm
it.
so happy to hear that because I was just redoing my bio for this thing that I'm doing, and I was like, I'm tired of that, and I was going to take it out.
Keep it.
Oh really?
No, I should keep it?
I
Okay.
loved it.
All
Yeah,
right.
I read that. I was like, oh my god.
I love
yes.
having feedback because it just,
Yeah.
makes me not self-doubt. It makes me confident in the choices that I've already made.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's true. It's true. It's true.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
what I think I do.
Yeah. No,
I don't
it
know.
is what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is what you do. And I was like, that
concur.
very sums up exactly what you do.
Thank you.
And I was like, I wonder if she wrote this as I was reading it.
Yeah,
was
of
like,
course I
she wrote
did.
that.
The stuff people write about. Oh,
So you don't need to hire a company. You've got your stuff.
You got it.
I write my own stuff.
You have all the gold.
Just be true, bro.
Do you want to hear the worst thing that was ever said about me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I started Game of Thrones with my hairdresser Jonathan Van
Jonathan
Ness.
Van, I love
Yeah.
Jonathan Van Ness.
He's fantastic. And so basically how that came about is he was doing my hair and he was trying to tell someone else to watch Game of Thrones. And he was calling everybody her and talking about their vests and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, this would be a great show. So I went to Funny or Die and I was like, hey, I want to bring my hairdresser in to do this recap show. And they were like, no one understood what I wanted to do. And I was like, just let me do it. I'm sure it's going to be great. Let me do it. So then it got really successful. And by successful, I mean people watched it. Not that I made a lot of money or anybody made any money.
Yeah.
And a fast company, did a massive spread on us. And I was not interviewed for it. And I was credited under a picture of a hairbrush.
What?
So it was like Erin Gibson
Hairbrush.
had the beginning ideas for this web series, and it was under a slideshow under a hairbrush, and I was so mad.
Yeah.
I was so mad because at first I was like, oh, it's just an article, like whatever, blah blah blah, and then I was like, no, Gibson, you made this happen.
Yeah.
You have to write this lady, and I just wrote her similar situation I did about 7 drafts, and I just wrote her a really strong thing about how she was being a bad woman and how she was like not helping other women, and like this is really disgusting and she should be ashamed of herself. And then she wrote back and said, basically, I'm not sorry, but it was so weird. It was so weird to have something like that. So
yeah.
I think you have to, oh God, I hate to bring this full circle, but you do
please do.
have to control the way that you present yourself to people, because if you don't sometimes, then they'll just be like, oh, you're not important in this thing, or you're not, you have to be like, no, I worked on this. This was my thing. And that's not just a lesson I learned from that, but lots of stuff. Like, don't take a second seat to stuff that's yours. Don't take a second seat to something you absolutely deserve credit for. And demand that people give you that credit if they're not going to. You always have to be your own advocate, because there's just no one's going to think it's as important as you do.
Yeah. Oh man. On that note,
But don't lie about yourself on
don't
Instagram.
lie about yourself on
Lie about yourself on
Instagram.
Instagram.
well, it sounds
But
like
you
that's
can
what
brag
you're.
in a good way.
We
Yeah.
do have one final question, and
I
that's
can't wait.
What's making you
What's
happy?
making you happy? What's bringing you joy?
I've been microdosing marijuana every day since January 1st.
CBD mix?
No.
Oh, just-
straight up weed lemonade.
Yeah.
Like a fucking baby.
Yeah.
I take a teaspoon every morning because I was like, okay, I think I'm generally an unhappy person, and then I just kind of, speaking of being fake, I like put on a thing when I'm around other people, so I don't have to really talk about it. But I thought, wonder what would happen if I pretended that this was my like Xanax.
Yeah.
And I just took I'm not even taking 5 milligrams.
Yeah.
I'm taking like 3 milligrams. And it is a game changer. It's a total game changer. Like, I get up at 6:30 a.m. out now. I go to the gym before 8. Like, I'm like the most productive I've ever been.
Wow.
And I don't feel manic or anything.
In the morning or at night?
Well, I think the
How
way
did you get the idea to do that, or was that suggested?
I do smoke and eat a lot of weed, but I always reserve it for like, oh, this is my chill out time or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, what if I just did
Yeah.
a small amount and not have to be like everything all or nothing with it?
Right.
Because I do really believe in the healing powers of marijuana. I think it's one of the reasons it hasn't been legalized is because a lot of drug companies don't want you to have it because then you can't. You're not gonna do
Xanax.
be on all their stuff, yeah, and Prozac and all that stuff, Wellbutrin. So I just was like, I don't know, let's see if it works. And I've been doing it, and it is so nice.
Wow.
It feels really good, and it's making me really happy.
Yeah.
And it's
Good.
and I think it's really important not really to do drugs all the time, but I think it's important that whatever that thing is that gets you out of your like political cloud of depression and like reading news every day, because for my job I read so much news, I do all this stuff. As long as you're not hurting yourself or other people, like it's not a problem.
I'm a Wellbutrin user.
Yeah.
For years, because it's the one thing that keeps me from being someone who can't get out of bed in the morning.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I would consider pot if that. Yeah,
It's.
don't know.
I mean, with that, it's like very much like a much bigger thing because then you have to wean yourself off. But
But did you take those edibles? I gave her a bunch of edibles.
Yeah.
I gave her some edible chocolates.
I was healing from some broken bones, and
oh my god.
yeah, they took the pain away for a night.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's funny. I've been.
I don't think they made me high. They just like made the pain better without me having to take the Vicodin that I also had.
But there is something about like a smaller dose THC, like edible, that kind of has a prolonged effect.
CBD oil. CBD doesn't really do
I haven't
anything
tried
for me.
much of it.
But I'll send you a picture of this lemonade because it tastes okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I don't ever feel like I'm in danger of taking too much because I literally measure it out every time. And I've been drinking this lemonade for like 4 years. I used to just gulp it and be like, "Get ready to party." But now I'm just doing a regulated version, and I think it's super consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now everything's like so regulated and stuff. It's kind of great. You're not gonna. It's not like a crapshoot. Like, I'm gonna eat this cookie and let's see what happens.
Yeah,
I don't know how
exactly.
many doses is in it. Yeah,
That's what's so great about the stuff now is that you know exactly how much you're getting. Yeah.
I think you guys should do a spinoff.
Let's do it.
Just a
On
full
that
weed,
note,
a weed spinoff.
Weed
cheers, Erin. Thank you so much for
You guys,
being here.
this is
You're great. You're
fantastic.
fantastic.
Thank you so
Love
much for having
Yeah.
me.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, guys. Erin Gibson.
And Erin Gibson, Campari, there's nothing you need.
It's such a great combo.
It is.
It's relaxing.
Perfect.
Thank you, UCB.
Thank you, Dr. America Comedy, for music.
Thank you, Thomas Strachey, for the graphic.
Thank you, Whine people.
Thank you, Zig, for putting up with us.
Yes. He was like, wait, you were speaking? We were saying thanks.
You're saying thanks. He's here.
Yeah. Next week, we have Johnny Meeks.
Johnny Meeks, the famed UCB
Academic head.
Academic
So
head.
That'll be fun.
Johnny Meeks is here, you guys. Maybe we'll get like a free class.
Yeah, I don't think so, but we'll get to have some damn good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Rate us, all that baloney.
Write us a review, click a thing, send us a question.
Yeah, we still want to know, like,
Yeah.
pricey wines that you're drinking.
Yeah. Tell us what you like about the show. Tell us
Yeah.
what you like.
Tell us what we need to do less of.
That's right.
If they're like, outro, get rid of the outro, then we're just like, fuck you. But
The outros are what we live for.
bullshit.
All right, guys. Have a good week. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
I just drink wine. I don't fuck with IPA. I just drink wine. I don't fuck with minute maids. I just drink wine. I don't fuck with coffee mates. I just drink wine. Give me red, white, or say, don't touch me, motherfucker. I'm a sommelier.
This has been a Boardwalk Audio podcast. For more information and shows, visit boardwalkaudio.com. Don't forget to rate and subscribe now.